One of my favorite scenes, and I was a young man when I saw it, and it affected me greatly, was in John Carpenter's Halloween. At the very beginning of the movie, if some people might remember, it's really terrifying, man. When you see, like, you're just looking through a mask as the film begins, and so the person's actually walking through the back door of the house. So you see it outside, you see the person looking at the front of the house, and they walk around the house to the back of the house, and so they're looking through a mask. And they go into the kitchen, and they pull open the knife drawer, and they start sorting through, and they grab one of the knives, and it's like one of the most terrifying scenes in a film. You're like, whoa, this is terrifying, because you just, like, you know something awful is going to happen, of course, because you're at a horror movie. But I thought that was a very creative way to film that, and I had not seen that in any other film. That doesn't mean no one else did that, but I thought John Carpenter did an excellent job of conceiving of that opening scene. And then you get to see the person walking with the knife up the stairs, and I believe this was 76. I think it was 76. I hope I'm right about that. So I was about 10 years old. And so you see in the opening of the movie, you see a person looking through the window, and you see a couple making out on the couch, and they're making out in the living room, and then they go upstairs, so you can tell that they're gonna do some heavier petting upstairs, and then you see the young boy, but then you see through the eyes of the mask, and then he grabs the knife, and he goes up the stairs. He's going up the stairs, and then for a moment you see him actually looking into the room of his sister, what turns out to be his sister's room, and she has some extremely beautiful breasts. Like John Carpenter's filming of that was one of the sexiest film scenes that I had ever seen, because those were the most beautiful breasts that I had ever looked at. And I was not unused to looking at breasts, because I was a connoisseur of Playboy, Penthouse, and Hustler magazine, but I had never seen breasts that beautiful in a film. And it was just so awful that you had to experience that scene after that. For days after that, I went home and I wondered, like, that's awful. Like, that's awful that on the one hand I was seeing the most beautiful breasts ever, but then you see a terrible scene after that. But this is a way that in horror movies they combine sex and violence. Some might call it formulaic, but if you are a male who likes looking at beautiful women's breasts, you'll want to stop the tape when you watch Halloween in maybe 5th or 6th minute or 7th minute of the movie, 8th. When you see that beautiful girl there in that scene and done in that way, I think you really like it. Any guy who's likes looking at beautiful women, the filming of it was very skillfully done, and so John Carpenter deserves an enormous amount of credit for being an excellent filmmaker and for terrifying the daylights out of a young kid like me when I was about 10 years old. But look at that scene. Take a look. It won't take you very long. Just throw it up online and take a look at Halloween. That's one I recommend today, and it is a fascinating performance in many ways. There's some excellent lines. The actors' names escape me because I haven't used them for years, but Dr. Loomis is an excellent character in that film too. He's the psychiatrist of Michael Myers. And there are some excellent scenes where he delivers lines that are just so skillfully done And you know, some guy, I mean, I'd like to actually see, have some people watch it, a Dr. Loomis fan club, you know, would be an excellent idea. Like a Dr. Loomis fan club, because Loomis is just such a great character in that movie. So, you know, today online, you know, spontaneously, these things can form. You know, like a Dr. Loomis fan club would be a funny thing to see. Like, the people are like, they just specialize in Dr. Loomis lines. You know, he delivers some excellent lines in that particular film. One of them is, "He's gone from here, the evil is gone." You know, when Michael Myers actually escapes from the mental institution, Dr. Loomis delivers that line, and it's a really excellent line, because you're able to see they're driving towards to the asylum, and you get this flash. It's raining. It's like heavy rain pouring down, and you get this flash of somebody running in front of the car, and then, you know, Dr. Loomis says, "He's gone from here. The evil is gone." And it's really excellent. It's a really funny line, but it's terrifying. When you're watching it, you're scared. And so I will predict that if anybody's willing to throw that movie on for at least 20-30 minutes and sees that scene, you know, they might even say that Dr. Loomis deserves his own fan club, because that actor is really good. But he's really good, in my view, he's really good as Dr. Loomis. I've seen him in other movies, but I love that movie, and I love Dr. Loomis. You know, so I think in the future I'm going to start a Dr. Loomis fan club online and actually get people into, like, who are willing to, like, commit, you know, and do some sort of pledge, and I'll actually, like, create an oath that they have to, like, swear to, you know, that they are loyal to that they watch, like, 20 minutes of Dr. Loomis scenes every week, because they're hysterical. You know, there's some really good lines. Another line that he gives in the movie is, he says, let's see, oh yeah, he says, "Death has come to your little town." You know, it's really good lines, you know, for if you're into horror films. It's really good. Maybe it's not, you know, maybe somebody won't. Maybe Rebecca Goldstein will not actually say, "I want to start a Dr. Loomis fan club," but maybe she will. I don't know. She should check out Dr. Loomis though.